ships or ship Z? Only you can decide. Find out more at shipzorz.com.
Hey everyone, this is Irina bringing you this week's Supply Chain Minute. So for the next couple of episodes, we'll focus on supply chain bottlenecks globally, specifically as they will be impacting all supply chain planning and all holiday sales planning for retail and beyond. So, if these are not just things that are impacting shelves. If you're trying to remodel your home, for example, or maybe you're trying to buy some new furniture, those lead times are ridiculously long right now. Or maybe you're trying to buy a new car, same thing. Parts for machinery are very delayed as well. And so any type of planning at this time is contingent on these supply chain bottlenecks. And one of the largest ones is shipping, specifically shipping from China across the ocean into North America. And so the Asia-North America market right now, specifically as it pertains to freight, is what most professionals would call in critical status. The prices, the cost for this is overwhelming. The planning, there's just no capacity. And not only that, but when you do think that you've booked, a vessel and you're waiting for your container to get aboard, the port may potentially close. As we've seen in Ningbo, that closure was pretty significant, well over 2 weeks, which actually caused the cost of ocean freight for the month of August to go up 6% versus previous month in July. That's a very significant cost increase in 1 month, which is being passed on to consumers, as we've seen that July has been the 9th consecutive month for price increases for consumers in the United States. And so definitely the impacts of those bottlenecks are being felt on the other side. However, it's really tough to keep track of these bottlenecks. We've seen, the freight market has been constrained for well over a year at this point in time. But in addition to that, we know that we now have constraints on the air freight market as well. And so we now know that the port of Shanghai has closed one of its terminals because of COVID cases. And then in addition to that, the constraints and the requirements that are put on labor in those areas because of China's zero tolerance policy is creating labor shortages as well, because employees are not happy with all of the requirements that they have to meet to actually be able to come back and do their jobs. So again, a lot of different bottlenecks. We have labor shortages, raw materials, we have shipping, other things that we'll be discussing. But I'm really curious to know, if your merchandise is on its way to Shanghai right now, how are you diverting it to make sure that you can get it to a different airport in time? There's additional costs, there's high constraints. So really curious to know what some of you guys are doing and what your strategies are to deal with all of these unknowns and bottlenecks. So until next time, thanks so much. Bye, guys.